First of all, we've got Akshay. His company is called Nasch and was recently accepted into Draper Startup Bangalore, which is so awesome. As a side note, Draper is about to become a really great partner of ours, and we're very excited about that. A little bit about Nasch. Nasch is building technology to gauge employee sentiment by enabling conversations, NLP-driven analytics, actionable activities, and psychology. They are really hitting it out of the ballpark with gaining traction in both India and the US, and there's a lot of great possibilities with that. And I'll let him tell you a little bit more about that. Go ahead and take it away, Akshay.
Thank you so much, CS. Thanks for the intro. Hey, everyone. It's glad to be presenting to you guys. I'll be sharing my screen here in a second. All right. So my name is Akshay. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Nasch, and we help organizations build happy workplaces using AI and psychology. So we are solving an age-old problem that has been lingering around for decades. That is the culture problem through employee engagement. So most of the organizations, they conduct employee engagement surveys annually, which does not really get them data in real time. Also, more than 80% of the employees go through survey fatigue because they face the same questions again and again every time these surveys are conducted. And that's because the tools are not really optimized to conduct these surveys, because most of the organizations use tools like SurveyMonkey and Google Forms. But once they conduct these surveys, most of the HRs and CXOs, they don't even know what to do with data and end up spending thousands of dollars to hire consultants and come up with an implementation plan, which more than usual does not work. And that's because survey is just a one-way communication. There is no proper platform where employees can communicate back and forth with their upper management. So we solve all these problems using Nasch, specifically using a process known as Deming cycle, through which we continuously diagnose, analyze, and solve people problems. Problems like employee engagement, attrition, motivation, turnover, etc. Not only do we help the organizations identify the challenges, but also use psychology, specifically nudge theory in combination of various other psychological concepts to address those challenges. And we work with professional counselors and psychologists to be able to do this. So we have three mission pillars that we try to instill in our client organizations. One is the sense of family, second is trust, and third is transparency. We understand that each organization may have their own unique culture, but research has shown that the foundation of every culture boils down to these three pillars, and that's why we focus on these. We are operating in a very big market. Based on Gartner, Aon, Grandview, and Adobe reports, the market is somewhere above $75 billion, with more than $2 billion expenses from the organizations towards employee engagement every year. And that is before COVID. COVID has only accelerated this number even further. So the traction so far, we have about 22 clients in just a short span of 6 months, and divided between 3 continents and 3,000 users. And all these clients came from $0 of marketing expenses, all 100% outbound. And with that, we have a user growth growing at a rate of 40% month over month. And that is coming from the organizations at a scale closing rate of at least 2 organizations per week. And because of the unique approach that we take towards the culture problem, we have a very high engagement, 28% higher than the industry average, which allows us to identify and resolve more than 90% of the problems, which is again 60% higher than the industry average. We have 2 revenue models for North American and European markets. We charge $5 per user per month for organizations up to 500 people. And for the APAC market, we charge $500 per month for organizations up to 500 people. We do have competition On the left side, Infido and Culture Monkey are our competitors in the APAC region, and Humo in the US region. We do stand out in three evident ways. One is that our solution goes beyond diagnosis. So we don't just help organizations identify the challenges, but as I mentioned, use psychology to address these challenges as well. And because when we apply these specific psychological concepts, we do it on a very customized way, right down to each employee of the organization. So we touch each employee on an individual and personalized level, and we do it in a scalable way. And also we train our algorithms based on the data provided by the organizations and their employees, which allows us to have an edge and make our algorithms proprietary. We are two co-founders with a combined experience of more than 12 years, with one exit in each under our belt. I personally look over BD and operations, and my co-founder, Nasch, looks over the technical side. We have a great advisory team as well, who helps us drive the product deeper and add more value to our organizations. We are seeking $400,000 right now to reach 300,000 users, capping at $4 million at 30% discount. We are going to be focusing on mainly North American and APAC markets for now. And based on the breakdown here, because we are at a scalable stage, we are spending 60% on marketing and sales, 10% each on product and R&D, and 20% on hiring. Why now is a good time? So competition for talent has gotten intense. Research has shown again that engaged employees are motivated, loyal, and less likely to leave. Also, most of the organizations lack a two-way communication. Survey is not a two-way communication, but there are many, and that's why many problems just don't surface. And we provide that two-way communication. And since last year, work from home has become rampant in most of the organizations who have making that move permanently. And they are looking for solutions like this, which allows them to keep a pulse on their employees. Thank you so much. I would love to hear any questions if you may answer them.
Okay, Akshay, it looks like we have a couple of questions here.
Absolutely.
The first one is, has Nasch raised any money yet during its stay with the International Accelerator or before?
We have not yet. We are bootstrapped so far.
Okay. The next one I have is the platform available in any other languages?
It's available only in English for now, but we do have plans to make it available in a couple of other languages a few months from now.
Okay. Some other ones I have here is, can you correlate to employee retention or turnover yet?
Can I correlate employee retention to turnover?
Yeah.
Yes. So there are more than one ways to figure out why the turnover is. There are many factors, basically. So Nasch definitely allows you to dive deeper into those factors. Like we have various features like heat map and word cloud, which allows people to not only understand what the problems are, but where they're coming from, so that they could understand deeper patterns and why there is lack of retention or why people are dropping out.
Okay. Another one we have is, since culture takes years usually to change, when and how can you show that this method was effective for being responsible for culture change?
Yes, culture does take its time. For what really something that we could show right off the bat is the challenges that the organizations are facing. As I mentioned, we have features in place that allows people to initiate conversation, giving a two-way communication. It allows people to initiate conversations anonymously, which allows then again HRs and CXOs to identify problems which may not have surfaced otherwise, which will definitely accelerate the process of them figuring out the solution to those, implementing it, and then eventually getting the right culture in place.
Okay, thanks for that. Another one we have is, what kind of personal data do you collect from users, and how do you process it for results, and how do you protect this data?
Just basic stuff. So all the data we need when we onboard is the name of the employees, their email addresses, their job start date, what department do they belong to, who do they report to. That's all. I would like to let people know that we are GDPR compliant, and we are already working with a couple of organizations based in Europe. So data privacy is of utmost importance to us.
And the last one we have here is, how has the pandemic affected your business?
It has actually accelerated our business. As I mentioned, a lot of organizations have gone work from home, some of them permanently, and they are on the lookout for something that keeps the employees engaged, even though they are scattered all across the place. So it has definitely accelerated our business.
Okay, I guess we have a couple more coming in here. Is your data being used to assess managers' performance for the user's company?
Can you repeat that again, please?
Sure. It says, is your data being used to assess a manager's performance within the company?
Yeah, but not on the KRA level. We don't look at the objectives and the goals that the organization set, but we do look at the sentiments of the people, the challenges that they're talking about, and how managers are handling them. So from that perspective, yes.
And another one we have is, how many employees do you currently have?
It's me and my co-founder who are full-time. Then we have a counselor and a psychologist who are working part-time with us. And then we have our advisors. So we're a small team.
All right, sir. Well, that's all I have.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys.